Hello, Kidney students. This is Mrs. D, and I'm here today to read you the story Hooray for Wodney Wat. Poor Wodney, Wodney Wat. His real name was Rodney Rat, but he couldn't pronounce his R's. To make matters worse, he was a rodent, a wodent. What's your name, Wodney? Asked other rodents. Wodney Wat, whispered Rodney. That's another name. What's another name for bunny? They asked knowingly. Wabbit, he mumbled. And how does a train travel? They winked at each other. A twain travels on twain tracks, Wodney replied miserably. All of this teasing, day in and day out, made Wodney the shyest rodent in his elementary school. His squeak could hardly be heard in the class, and he gnawed his lunch alone. And while the other rodents scurried and scooted about the recess, Wodney hid inside his jacket. Then one day, as the rodents were taking turns doing wheelies, a new rodent, a very large rodent, barged into the classroom and announced, "My name is Camellia Capybara. I am bigger than you, I am meaner than you, and I am smarter than any of you. So there," she said. With that, she accidentally, on purpose, elbowed an ear, bumped two noses, stepped on three tails, and lay down on the desk. Fur prickled in fear through the classroom. She sure was bigger than any of them. She sure looked meaner than any of them. But was she smarter than any of them? "What's 2 plus 2?" asked Mrs. Frizzleworth. "4," shouted Camellia Capybara, without even bothering to raise her paw. And furthermore, 4 plus 4 is 8, 8 plus 4, 8 plus 8 is 16, and 243 plus 125 is 368. Later, Mrs. Fizzleworth said, "What's the capital of?" And Camellia interrupted and said, "New York, Albany, population 295,594. And during science, in answer to the question, "What part of the plant is below the ground?" Camellia Capybara danced on her desk and sang, "Root, root, rooty toot toot." Yep, thought all the other rodents, she's smarter than we are. They felt very, very uncomfortable. Now, every afternoon, just before the final recess, Mrs. Fuzzleworth drew a name from her hat to see who would be leader for their favorite game. Simon Says. She scrunched her eyes closed and jiggled her hat. Would it be Hairy Hamster, Many Feet Mouse, Grizzle Frizz Guinea Pig? Could it be Big, Mean Camellia Capybara? Miss Fuzzleworth's paw reached in and pulled out the name of Rodney Wat. The bell rang, and there was a wild scurry for the door. Camellia Capybara was the first on the playground, having trampled the others in her path. Wodney, she looked especially scary. What would she do when she heard him squeak? Would she breathe capybara breath in his face? Or would she tie him up with his own tail? Or would she even pounce on him? The sign says P.S. 142 Elementary School for Rodents. The tiny, trembling leader of the game stood before the eager players, his head well inside his jacket, and he squeaked, "Wodney says, weed the sign," while the other rodents read, P.S. 142 Elementary School for Rodents. Camellia began pulling up weeds around the sign and wildly flinging them hither and yon till she was clear up to her teeth in dirt. The other rodents, they began to smile. Wodney says, "Wrap your paws around your head." He peeked a little peek out of his jacket and saw whap, whap, whippity, whip, slappity, whap. Camellia was whapping her paws around her head so hard she became dizzy and had a headache and had to sit down. The other rodents began to laugh. Wodney says, "Wing around the woozy." Camellia put out her arms like wings and made an airplane noise. But where was the woozy? What was a woozy? By now, Wodney's voice was stronger, and his head was entirely out of his jacket. "Wake the leaves." Nobody moved. Wodney says, "Wake the leaves." While Harry, Minniefeet, and Grizzlefrizz and the others busied themselves raking leaves, Camellia Capybara grabbed one leaf. "Wake up!" she yelled. She snatched another leaf. "Come on, you, wake up, 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 up." And another, "Rise and shine." And another, "Boo." By now, all of the other rodents were squealing with laughter. All but Camellia, who frowned. Stupid leaves, they won't wake up. And why was everyone laughing at her? Such bullies. In a voice so strong he had to hold his own ears, Wodney called, "Wodney says, go west." The rodents collapsed in a happy heap for a rest. Go west. Camellia Capybara, feeling very smart that she could tell directions by the sun, said, "All right, I shall go west." And then she added, "So there." West she stomped forever. She was gone. And from that day on, the pupils of PS 142 Elementary School for Rodents never teased Wodney again. He was their hero. "Hooray for Wodney Wat," they cried. "Hoot, hoot, hooty toot toot."